Hi, everybody. I am happy today to be here to present my conference. We'll see the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on technology transformation. We will see new development and new application of this transformed technology. Many thanks to my colleague, Professor Iswanto, to give me this opportunity to be here with you today. But let me first present myself. I am Omar TANANE, lecturer at Hassan II University of Casablanca, Morocco. I am a project manager for scientific research valuation and technology transfer. I am head of the focal points, the Technology Innovation Support Center, which center is supported by World Intellectual Property Organization. And I am also chief editor of REINNOVA journal, a journal for innovation and entrepreneurship. We are all agree that the COVID-19 pandemic has changed the face of the world. It's transformed our lives forever. Fortunately, the technology has not failed to challenge this the impact and this transformation. And we have seen that this pandemic has stimulated technological innovation, and we have witnessed the production of an anthology of effective technical solutions deployed to deal with the pandemic. I make a research on patent data of World Intellectual Property Organization, and I find a new patent application related to COVID-19. I found about 1,800 patents related to COVID-19. 78% of this patent, this application was for developing COVID-19 vaccines. And only 22% for COVID-19 therapeutic. We see that it's more preventive than corrective. Sure that the pandemic has pushed the researchers to expand the new methods, and they use a new digital tools facing the restrictive condition. We see that people's physical mobility was limited, and contact between individuals also limited. Technology development has focused on detecting the virus and providing treatment to relieve symptoms and developing its vaccine. We have seen the development of the following. We will limit our conference today to 5 technology: IoT, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, Bluetooth, GPS, and robots. But let's start by IoT and COVID-19. Internet of Things or Internet of Everything enabled health system is useful for proper monitoring COVID-19 patients by employing an interconnected network. This technology helps to increase patient satisfaction and reduces the readmission rate in the hospital. The challenge was not only to find a vaccine, but the real challenge was to find the best way to bring this vaccine to people around the world. So the drones, robots, and audiovisual technology was an alternative to reducing human interaction. The device, Bluetooth and GPS, were the supporting technology for people's health distance monitoring. IoT is also now the industrial internet, and I say before, it's Internet of everything. and several machines and apparatus that can efficiently interact with each other. It's the future. We can easily imagine that IoT will be the technology of the future. This will be possible by the wide availability of the internet, the reduced cost of hardware, and the enormous amount of people using smartphones. We say that we are able to collect the data and other smart products. IoT can possibility affect every single sector of our lives. It's affected by this technology, including the following manufacturing and health and medicine and transportation. When we say the structure of the IoT medical care, we say that this technology allows detecting information by sensors, and this technology can process this information, share this information by network, and it's able to store this information and to bring all this information to uh, artificial intelligence platform to have an output of a smart decision to face this pandemic. I make a research on patent database of World Intellectual Property Organization, and I find that the India was the best country that produced the technology related to IoT and COVID-19. The 2022 years was the most productive years in IoT and technology and for facing COVID-19. But let's now talk about artificial intelligence COVID-19. We see that the researcher was stimulated, and some researchers from prestigious American institute are developing a new treatment for COVID-19 by using only artificial intelligence. They dot this technology by program and by algorithm to find a new COVID antibiotic, and they were able to develop a machine who diagnosed the disease. Which machine was built with an artificial intelligence system algorithm, and this machine was able to diagnose the disease based on long scans alone. Some researchers from MIT developed a strong antibiotic that could kill several drug resistance strain of bacteria, and the researcher from IBM developed a model for producing antimicrobial peptide. They do that by giving to artificial intelligence massive data of peptide molecule. That artificial intelligence system analyzes out the link between the structure of molecule and their function to list ideal properties for new function. For example, a specific antibiotic function with low toxicity. The system could also be adapted to receive anti-COVID-19 molecule. And we see in this table that artificial intelligence enhance research, and it was an early warning by detecting the virus, and it was a preventive system, though it can predict and calculate probability of contamination of person, and they can execute some task use of drone for transporting material in high-risk areas and monitoring the economic recovery via satellite and GPS. That's allow diagnosis and supervising, and to give a service automatization and collect information. I do the same thing with artificial intelligence, and I am make research and on patents, data, World Intellectual Property Organization. I also find that India was also the leading country to develop artificial intelligence technology for to fight COVID-19, and the best year for this was 2021, who has developed many solution, more solution for artificial intelligence COVID. But now let's talk about drone technology, and the researchers around the world develop their innovation to operate drone by remote control, by human operator, and to give autonomy by onboard computers, and they rest to pilot this engine by automatically. We see that my research find that drone can help fight disaster, or especially disaster spread. Country have made great use of drone technology to counter its spread, with joining forces with numerous researchers and innovators to find ingenious way of using drones to fight pandemic and their best. Drone was very helpful to facilitate to medical care and to reach the inaccessible area, and the drone travel faster than any manned vehicle, and hence can overcome the topographic challenges that will be incredibly challenging to overcome by other forms of transportation. Some country use drone to for crowd surveillance. They dot the drone with the thermal camera, and many country use drone for making public announcements, and they use it to spray disinfectant on inaccessible contaminated area. I do the same research on database, and I find that also India was the best country who produced the technology to develop drones, and to find the best way to to uh, to reach the inaccessible area. And also 2021 years was the best year for this technology. When I study the patents, that I find that drone, the patent was developed to make drone more efficient to distribute drugs and avoid human intervention, social distancing to defeat COVID pandemic in healthcare. Pesticide was sprayed by and sanitization also by intelligent drone. They provide the emergency medication in the micro contamination area. And finally, I was looking for the top 19 location based on the number of COVID vaccine, and I found that USA, China, Turkey, and UK have the highest number of vaccines at the clinical and preclinical stage. In conclusion, I can say that finally, I will say that COVID-19 was a good thing for technology. Maybe it's a bad thing for other thing, but for technology was the very stimulating technology, and the researchers are looking for the best solution to make our life easier. All screen, uh, all seen technology in this presentation are destined to prevent and attenuate the pandemic impact that to restore a normal life after the pandemic. IoT has brought a huge contribution to resolve the problems, enormous potential to collect, analyze, and efficiently health data transmitting. So it's a preferred choice for monitoring and managing disease. And this is, as I say before, this the technology for the future. The drones have changed the concept of things delivery, and robots have replaced the humans so they can reach inaccessible places. Bluetooth and GPS was the supporting technology, and they help to detect contaminated person. Telemedicine will be extremely developed through the association of IoT, drones, and robots. This can be used to dispatch clinical resources to huge geographic area. It will ensure the care quality and accessibility during the pandemic. All this technology will be developed and will aid in humanity to overcome the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you for attention.